Take 2. Oh, yeah. Okay. What's going on, guys? So welcome to another episode. Oh, why is my chat not working? I gotta reload the chat. Let's try to get this right here. Yes, sort of right. It's sort of right. No. Welcome to another episode, guys. Let me attempt to fix the chat. I really want to get the chat fixed. Let me see. Transform, reset, transform. Oh, all right, this may mess everything up, but we're going to try. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, awesome. Okay. Make it smaller. Bring it down. Oh, can I not do it? Well, you know, I tried. How about I just put this over here for now? Let's try it. Ready? Come on. There we go. We got it. We got it, family. We're going to keep it large in the corner. How about that? Boom. Boom. All right. What's up, Partition Musician? What's going on? What's up, Jillian? What's going on, everybody? So, it's another happy hour, and Autumn is not here. Quick announcement. Autumn will be here again, but slightly, maybe a little less frequently through fall, and she may talk about that, but I'm going to wait for her to return for any sort of news around that. But I'm happy to have you guys here, and I'm sad to have Autumn not be here. How about that? So anyways, it's happy hour week. What do you guys want to talk about? We can talk about anything. Anything and everything. I recently saw a video that I found kind of interesting. I'm not going to show it here because I'm not sure that the person wants the video to be widely distributed, but the video was really interesting, and maybe some of you guys can talk about it. In the video, there was some talk about how, let's just call it gear tube, leads to possible like people with impulse control issues. And I don't think I've ever thought of it in that way, but you know, I like to say that gas is really just a word for trying to avoid the real issue, which is you have like a spending. Everyone has retail therapy. Like that's industry. That's everyone's industry's thing when they talk about it. Every industry has this thing called I don't know. Let's just call it retail therapy. But anyways, oh wow, Toneverk has arrived. I still think I have to watch a Toneverk video to understand what makes it unique as a sampler. I hear a lot about it, but I still gotta know what it is. Yes, Autumn is actually very busy with new Ableton releases, of course. Let's check that out. Let's see if there's some Toneverk. I just want to read this one article and see what this says. Toneverk or Digitac 2. I don't have either, but let's see. So the Toneverk has... Oh, wait. What can the Digitac do? Wait, what is Digitac over Toneverk? What is the Digitac? Okay. So slicing and time stretching, that's Toneverk. Ifdot says it's really easy to use. It's a really easy to use multi-sampler and wavetable synth with lots of effects, and you can sequence. No slice engine. Okay. Oh, you thought the video might be Rob Rosen. You don't need 200 synths video. That suggests you need a CS80, a Moog modular, a mini Moog, an OBXA, all vintage because he sells refurbs them. No. It's I mean, that video would want to be spread. It's a totally super deep cut video, which was just interesting. The Rob Rosen video, which is interesting. He's here in Los Angeles, but maybe because I'm not into vintage synths, I never actually heard of Rob Rosen until like last week. So maybe that video is making some really good rounds, but yeah, I never heard of Rob Rosen in LA before that. I didn't even know you could rent vintage synthesizers in Los Angeles. So it shows what I know. But Rob Rosen seemed to be very, he seemed to be really kind of like interested in, I wasn't sure what the point of the video was because it seemed like he was being very dismissive, but I also 100% understood. I think maybe what he was trying to say wasn't clearly, like, I don't know, clearly expressed, maybe. Yo, thank you, Julian. Thank you. Oh yeah, if you haven't watched the video on the main channel, check out the video on the main channel. Who wants to hear me talk about the Tempest for the umpteenth time? I do, I guess, again. Yeah, so Rob Rosen, maybe I'll go to that website. Rosen Sound? Oh, it's here. I had no idea. It's like near me. Okay, interesting. I never have. So this place, this Rosen Sound, is in Burbank, which is very close to where I live. So interesting. Let's see what he's got. There's a studio. Synth cabin. Oh, wow. This could be an interesting place to go. So this place is called the Synth Cabin. It's like, this is really not that far. Maybe it's definitely less than 10 minutes from here. Let's see. Wow, he's got a lot of stuff there. I love this. I'm an electric piano person, so all the synths and stuff are like whatever to me, but these, I love electric piano. So let's see. Oh, I click on synths for sale. Okay, here we go. So there's a newsletter, and I guess these are all of the ones that he has for sale. ARP, Lindrum, CS60, OBX8. I guess you have to tell them that you want it if it's for these lead time ones, but interesting. I actually would not want any of these vintage synths. I don't think that's surprising to anyone here. But yeah. Terry Fix says, never heard of Rob. That's wild. Even in synth land, people have their focus in areas sometimes don't see everything. Yeah, no, I mean, like literally Burbank, this address, wherever it was, said it was like on Oak Street in Burbank or something. Wherever the address was. I mean, that's literally right down the street, and I never heard of the guy. And I'm not saying that as like, oh, I don't hear the guy, but you know, whatever. Alkali says, don't dox yourself. It's fine. You know, he put his address on this. I'm surprised he's like this contact info. I'm sure this is where, let's see. Anyway, he had the address of the studio somewhere. I wouldn't do that if I had this much stuff. That's crazy. Yeah. Wagyu says, I think the real message of Rob's video was you don't need to hoover up crappy modern synths just to get a vintage God synths for 100K. Yeah, I think that the part of the video I watched realistically, like, that made sense to me was him talking about maybe he said something about that Van Halen Oberheim jump synthesizer or whatever, and he was like, there was like one synthesizer or something, and my thought has always been like, okay, I don't want to go as far as being like every synthesizer is the same and there's one that you need. It's either 1 or 0, like, right? There's 1 or none. My whole thought was, I think he's trying to say, what's your aim? Is your aim trying to be a collector? Is your aim being interested in them? Or is your interest in making music? Because if your interest is in making music, I couldn't even tell someone you need one synthesizer if your interest is making music. If you want to have a piece of hardware, okay. But like, that's what I thought he was getting at, was what's your actual end game, which is what my videos are mostly about. It's like, you know, the same reason why I make a Tempest video for the whatever billionth time. I'm still using the Tempest. What other drum machine do I need? It keeps working. It's a tool. I know it really well. I don't want to learn a bunch of stuff. So that's what I thought his thing was. But it made it seem like, don't buy this stuff, but also buy it from me if you're going to buy it anyway. So I didn't get it. I didn't really 100% get it. So, yo, Church of Living, what's going on? Stay a while. Stay a while. Yeah, this 1008 Oak Street is like very close. So, yeah. Interesting. Okay, let's check out this video. This Jameson Nathan Jones. Because I haven't seen this video. But I do know who Jameson Nathan Jones is, but I don't know who Rob Rosen is. So let's check this video out, huh? Let's check the video out and then read the comment section.
A little over it.
That's what everyone definitely needs. All right. Theater mode. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
A little over a decade ago, when I first started getting into recording and producing my own music, I started where we all start. I watched YouTube videos of people with big studios and lots of gear. And of course, I was gravitating towards people that I liked the sound of their music, and their music, to my ears, sounded much better than mine, even coming through my tiny M-Audio budget speakers at the time. They had all of those buzzwords. Their mixes had separation, clarity. It seemed like their arrangements were really well thought out, which turned out to be a really important part of all of this. But I got really hung up on that first thing that I saw when I watched their videos, and that was all the stuff they had in the background. They had a lot of hardware. So naturally, instead of, thinking about the skills that they had acquired and making their recordings sound really good and making their music easier to make sound good, well, I skipped over all that and went straight to the conclusion that more stuff equals more good. They have more stuff. If me have more stuff, me music sound good too. Now, unfortunately, me also had no money, so I had to start cheap and figure out how to make the stuff that I had sound as good as possible. And a lot of that was just me working in the box completely at first. It's all I could afford. And it turned out that was a huge blessing, because I had to learn how to make the most out of, my cheap MIDI keyboard, the cheap set of plugins that came with Cubase 6, those crappy M-Audio budget speakers that I mentioned. And it really came down to the fact that I had to learn the basics first.
So I think that's a good point. I've never really thought about how where you start might actually benefit you when you go into, let's just call it pieces of hardware instruments, because I don't know. I knew how to play piano before I ever was interested in like a synthesizer, right? Like my first synthesizer was, if we're going to talk about the first synthesizer thing I ever used was in Reason 2.0 or 2.5 or something. And I think it was probably a subtractor, like the subtractor synthesizer. So I guess I don't know. Where do people start? I would think everyone starts this way, but I don't know. It's really very inexpensive to get going in the box, but I don't know. If that says, his clickbait titles mean I never watch his stuff, but from what I remember, his tips are super solid, but you got to play the game on YouTube. I know. But I'm still not playing the game fully, if dots. Still have not put my face in a video doing anything in 3 years, and I'm still here, guys. Amazing. But yeah. So, anyways, I think he makes a good point. I think that where you start sometimes can really be a benefit. If, say, you really get good at something in the box before you get a piece of hardware, and then it's sort of just moving skills instead of chasing what you think something does. Whoops.
Putting reverb on a synth instead of every single instance of Serum in my project. But even that is skipping over the most fundamental part of this entire process. Remember, I said that it seemed like my favorite artists and composers, the arrangements and the way they composed, the way they put music together, made it easier for them to mix it. That doesn't happen by mistake. And by skipping over the compositional process and learning a little bit about how music is put together, it does a huge disservice to your music. And it makes the entire process a lot harder than it has to be. I've noticed this same recurring pattern with people that I've worked with over the last few years. And it starts with that same fallacy, that same faulty belief that I had when I first started. More gear equals better sounding music. But in reality, the only thing that more gear equals is more complexity in your workflow. And if you're just getting started out and you're just diving into this world, complexity is the last thing you need.
I agree. Actually, very good point. This is probably, I don't know. I'm not going to say the most important point, but I think that there's a big issue with deciding that because you have more stuff, anything's going to improve. I believe that, like, if you basically simplified your life down to very few things, your life would get more easy and peaceful. I don't know how to exactly say that. I'm not encouraging minimalism, but just if you have more things to worry about, there's somehow going to be introducing problems, right? If you have more complex things, that's more cables. If you have maybe a car that has more technology, there's more stuff that can go wrong. So I think it's really, I don't want to think it's like a gear thing, though. I don't know. No, we're about to start the Stoic arc. Aren't I already on the Stoic arc? I grew the beard. My beard is shorter now, but I grew the beard, and I thought I was already in Stoic mode.
Kills your momentum and sucks up all of your creative energy, and then you end up just frustrated and troubleshooting instead of writing music. That describes so much of my early career.
Catherine, what's
in all
up?
Of this stuff. So it creates a bit of a cycle where the more stuff you buy to solve problems, the more problems you create for yourself that you didn't even know existed. So you have to buy this thing to solve the problem created by the last thing that you bought. And that is not inspiring. At least for me, it wasn't. That was just very frustrating. It was exhausting, is what it was. And it also starts to conflate the compositional process with chasing happy accidents from new gear, which is exactly the way that they market it to you, by the way.
Also true. Also true. Stream Queen in the building. Catherine, very good to see you. And, you know, I just hope you're well. I just hope you're well. You've been making some minimal EBM lately. Nice. Nice. Stream OGs incoming. So I agree with what Jameson says. I don't know what everyone's end game is, and I think that, and maybe this is weird because I've seen a huge trend lately. A lot of people have sort of started to speak up more about maybe what is actually going on behind the scenes. There's, in my opinion, very few people who are doing, let's just call it music YouTube, who are as maybe into like all this stuff as it appears. There's a lot of needing to get the latest and greatest thing to be able to show up. To be able to show up in the algorithm. If you are a person who's very new and like, you know, you need to be like the lead story with like, oh, here's a new thing. It kind of makes your channel not do well if you don't continue on that like treadmill. And I don't think Jameson's ever really been that way, but that's just something that kind of comes up. That's something I've seen more lately. Is it's just some people are being they're seeing it a little bit more realistically. You can't just keep chasing the algorithm with new things, right? Because a new thing, a new product is going to get clicks, and no one's really there for you. They're just there for the new thing. So anyway,
every company wants to sell you on the idea that their device is going to spark the inspiration that you've been missing. But what if you learned just a few simple ways to start thinking like a composer instead of a producer? This means you don't rely solely on gear for inspiration. You can create your own inspiration through running experiments.
Oh wow!
You can replace
your own inspiration.
relying and waiting for happy accidents with intentionality. And then suddenly the process becomes repeatable and infinitely inspiring. You don't have to sit around and wait for it. You can go get it. Now, are there going to be days when you're more inspired than others and things come more easily? Absolutely. But I found that I can always come up with something. I don't ever just sit around looking at a blank screen or a blank page anymore, because I know some intentional experiments to run, and that will lead me to a place that I can pursue. I can chase my curiosity. I can get inspired, and that sends me down a rabbit hole that then starts this whole process moving. Maybe instead of buying that new sequencer that has all these generative random properties that are supposed to make things interesting for you, you could just learn a couple things about what makes sequences more interesting. And then you could learn how to run variations on that and develop ideas from that sequence. Maybe instead of a MIDI chord pack or a chord generator plugin, you could learn a few ways to write and revoice your own chord progressions so you could create any phrase shape you want out of the same chords.
That sounds awesome.
By the way, if you have about 10 minutes to spare, I will show you how to do that for free. You can grab my brand new 4-step system for endless.
Okay, so I want to dive into what he said, but I also want to read the comments section because I'm interested in what people are saying. That's interesting to me. So let's zoom in here if I can. So people are saying entirely agree. Less is usually more. Great video. Let's look at the most negative. Interesting, non-trivial. Wonderful. Okay, thank you. I mean, someone says this. They're saying, what about gear quality? I assume you don't need large numbers of instruments if you have, let's say, a Moog Matriarch and like he's naming like very high end. I mean, I don't know, Moog Matriarch's not high end, but I kind of agree and kind of don't. I think I made a big point. I forgot how long ago, but I said, if you really want to crush the idea of like gear lusting, just go and buy the best thing possible, but only buy one of them, right? Because it seems that everything's trying to catch up to like the most, like, I'm not saying it's the greatest or the best, but I'm just trying to put this out there. Like, boom, there's that TR-1000 from Roland, right? If you just bought the TR-1000 from Roland, it would kind of stop you from looking at drum machines because you kind of have the quote-unquote Pinnacle drum machine. But I also don't think having the Pinnacle drum machine is going to fix you not being inspired to make music, just because it has 808 analog sounds and it has like all of the like effects and stuff. Like I kind of get the point. There is a point about quality, but I kind of think of quality as it only matters. What is it? Like Slash could play like the cheapest like Daisy Rock guitar and it would sound like Slash still because he's a good guitarist or something. Let's see. So this person says, I have a big, this is a long comment. Oh my gosh. We've got to zoom in maybe more. I have a big conundrum with this advice. Some certain bits of gear are explicitly required to make certain types of music. I'm interested. What do y'all think about that? What do you guys think about that? I have some certain bits of gear are explicitly required to make certain types of music. I'm interested in what you guys think of that. I don't know if I disagree. I kind of feel like I don't know. Do I disagree? I feel like I disagree, but I feel like he need an exact. I can read more. Catherine says patently false. So he says, or whoever this is, says, 20-year-old dumbass me tried making Berlin School and industrial bass acid lines with FM synths and played them by hand without a sequencer, and also didn't know that dotted 1/8 delay was integral to the sound, so I drove myself insane trying to play everything I heard by hand and trying to use flangers and phasers to sound like modulated filters. The same thing happened both in not realizing that I needed to EQ. I mean, it's very interesting. I don't know. This is an interesting take. I get the point actually, but also, are we talking about like 1989 or are we talking about 2025? Because if we're talking about I just want to make that music, he's mentioning Berlin School industrial bass acid. Are we I mean, I don't even know what 20-year-old him was or 20-year-old then, but I don't see any tool that's not free that couldn't get you to that place now. Like, not that I make Berlin School or industrial bass acid. I just don't know if you need a specific bit of gear to achieve that now. But I might be misunderstanding, right? Taosophy Music says, like, you need a Lin drum or a Lin sample or to make synthwave. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't think that makes sense, but I don't know. But also a lot of the things I hate about maybe the gear side of things is there's a lot of arguing that can go on about it when it's really just Jameson's truth or his opinion. I don't know. Literally Rebirth. Yeah. Propellerhead's Rebirth or whatever. I used Rebirth. Yeah. It only makes sense if you're not trying to make something fully that's your own. And yeah, I kind of agree, because if you're going to say that a genre has to be something, I don't know if that's really, like, okay, so I was just looking and Thundercat was going to perform in, at the Palladium here in December or something. And Thundercat's one of those people who really got me into progressive jazz. And Thundercat is yes, he does kind of like pull from other artists, right? A lot of the chord playing on the bass and things like that. He's not the inventor of that, but maybe the blending of that into his own inspirational, like, creative juices is what makes, like, he's not just a clone, right? So when someone says, I can't make this type of music, because what does that type of music have to include? Can you not be, I would think it would be more beneficial for you to say, oh, I can't play all these things, but here's what I can do. And this is like my version featuring like my like internal like creativity. But I don't know. I don't think I've ever tried to sound like anyone, so I don't even know. And I also don't even know if I sound good, because I don't know who I'm comparing it to. I probably sound terrible. Anyways, what else is going on? Good. Who suggested this? Whoever suggested that video, I think it was it was it Wagyu? I don't know who suggested this, but cool video. Shout out to Jameson, Nathan Jones. Check out his channel. What's he been doing? I just want to. I'm going to be a little YouTube nosy. See what Jameson has been doing lately. Videos. So interesting. This is an interesting like title and thumbnail. Yeah, I don't know what it means, but it's interesting. He's talking about the tape DAW. If you're talented but overwhelmed, okay. I mean, these are good thumbnails. These are definitely YouTube thumbnails. These are peak YouTube thumbnails. Oh, this is good. Your chords are good. Fix your voicings. I like that. I mean, that's definitely a good tip. You can really make chords sound very different when with voices and voicings and certain voice leading. Yeah, I like it. So yeah, check out the channel. He's stealing my style from 2017 with the little bulb, so I'm mad at you, but it's fine. It was the old me. All right, what else is new? I'm trying to think of what I've seen. I've listened to a little of Jeremy being wildly upset, but that's it. I mean, y'all know I love Red Means recording. I definitely saw his video about, was it DistroKid or wherever? I think it was DistroKid, or how he was upset at Spotify and things like that. I totally understand where he's coming from. All I can say is this. I remember when DistroKid reached out to me years ago about doing something, and I just told them I don't use DistroKid, and I'm not going to tell people to use something I'm not using. And sadly, I mean, maybe this is a whole discussion for a whole other day, but I'll just mention it now. I really started to think about all of the times I just said no to money. Do I really win in the end? Like, I've probably said no to like, maybe like, I'm not exaggerating. Maybe like $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 in like sponsorships, maybe more, definitely more if we're talking AI, all the stupid AI emails I get. And so it's a totally different subject, but I just thought like, am I actually winning? Like, am I actually like trying to be like good? Do I actually win, or am I losing? Like, am I an idiot for like trying to be like, well, I don't want to like shill or promote. But anyway, I don't think anyone wins. Good point, Julian. Nobody wins. So anyways, his whole video about the services being the Spotify and things like that not being good because of their interfaces all being weird and having to do tons of work. Honestly, I hate to say it. Music is deeper than all of these companies and all of these distribution platforms. Nobody thinks that Spotify is good unless you're in the top point something percent, 0.0 or whatever percent. And, you know, Jeremy even mentioned taking his music off Spotify, trying to do something for, you know, maybe trying to have a stance. I don't want to speak for Jeremy, but trying to have a stance against that type of a large churning platform like Spotify actually hurt his visibility and like his earnings. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's a whole other video that I have to really deeply think about. Yeah. Spotify is good for David. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is. Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate to know that you're barely going to make any money, and then when you say, because I'm not going to make any money, I want to stand up against these platforms, because it's like Drake isn't taking his music off Spotify. It's very specific. It works for certain people. I will say this. I am extremely grateful and very happy for Bandcamp. Bandcamp has been amazing to me over the last few album releases. The support. I've definitely made more money on Bandcamp than on YouTube the last 2 years, for sure. Easily. So, find a way. Be a musician and find a way. People still love music. I still love music. I still buy music. I have my records behind me. If I see a record that I like, if I go to a show and an artist has a record, I buy it. I like music. I'm a music lover. I'm not just I don't know. I'm really interested in the whole culture of music and creators. So yeah, there's people out there who are still just like that. So go for those people. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what I saw that was interesting this week. There's no like real releases. I don't think. No like new things out. I'm scrolling on a gear news. Like plugins come out every day. That's crazy to me. It's crazy to me how many plugins there are. What is out? Alex Ball made a video about the Mini Moog. Somebody was really mean to him about it because, why not? They were like, oh, great, a Moog Mini Moog review in 2026. We really needed this. Okay. Yeah, anyways, I have no idea. Oh, I did see this. I did see this thing. '26 free plugin contest is happening. Sucrose came out. Looks cool. Sucrose. What's this? Sucrose. Is it Unplug Red? Whoa, hold on. Is it Unplug Red? This website is crazy. Is it this? GeoCities needs their website back. Angel Fire needs their website back. This is crazy. Is this it? That's crazy. I don't even know how to navigate this website. This is crazy. Well, I like the website, but also it's crazy. Okay. What's up, Sunwoo? What's going on? This is wild. This is taking me back. Cool. Let's see. Let's see. Do they have a... Okay, I gotta see if they have a... Do they have like a YouTube channel? Unplug Red. Unplug Red. They have a lot of crazy things. I guess they don't have a... Like, oh. I can't find it. I can't find anything about this. Unplug red, sucrose. I can't find a video, but a general MIDI. Oh, that's so cool. Well, I like a lot of smaller plugin companies. I think probably my favorite small plugin company is Aberrant DSP. Whatever. This one. This is my favorite small plugin company. Aberrant DSP. Their plugins are so cheap. Their plugins are like non piracy protected or whatever. It's like a couple people. They make music. It's cool. I mean, I love Sketch Cassette. I love... Where's their other plugin? They make this like distortion one. Or Digitalis, this one. This and between Sketch Cassette and Digitalis, I have one other plugin from them. I think it might be this or this. I forget which one. Maybe it's this one, Layer. But yeah, I love small plugin companies who don't like kill you and overcharge you for stuff. Oh, Sunwoo, yo. Said, I can identify with your recent videos. Somehow, not as many pieces of gear get me really excited. Somehow that coincides with me making more finished songs. Yes! Let's go! So, I don't know exactly why I decided to be a little bit more vocal about that reason for using less, but I'd honestly really, okay, if I was going to be fully honest, my dad passed away, and I really started to think about a lot of things regarding purpose and intentionality in the one life that we have to live, which is why I work really hard in the videos to never criticize people for wanting things, but understand what did you come here for in the first place. If you came here to collect and to fill your shelves with things, then you should be proud and be on the hunt, right? But you can't watch me and want me to encourage that, because that's not me. Now, if you wanted to make music and that was your intention, that was where you wanted to go, the internet and life in general is a wonderful distraction away from your creative endeavors. And that the reason why you create is because you can't help but do it. I think that most of us can really identify with that. If I don't create, I'm somewhat unhappy and anxious. I do have a video coming next week. I'm very proud of this video. It's been a while. I've been on my, whoever said my Stoic era, my Stoic arc. I've been on that Stoic for a little bit, but I did make the video, the history video about when they banned synthesizers in Europe. And you know, this is a music and storytelling channel, the main. So we've got a fun history video coming. I don't know if it's going to be, I don't think it'll be a great Synth Mysteries video, because it's not really 100% like that. I don't know if I want to brand it into that, but a history video about the 80s and synthesizers coming next week. I'm very excited. The channel's in a good place right now. The main channel has been in a really good place of just hopefully being a lot more. Ooh, Great Synth Histories. Yes. That's a great title. Great Synth Histories. Interesting. What's up, Weaselbox? Analog Wings. What's up? What's up? I feel like I'm missing people. What's up, Jack? What's up, Analog Wings? So, I used to think searching for the right gear was the same thing as being an electronic musician. But now, I think it's a stage in the journey that you can move past. Very wise. Very wise. I think that it's a, I think that interestingly enough, there is not a, I think that's a big problem sometimes too. If you look at Herbie Hancock's studio from 1980 something, you know, the big studio with all the stuff. Let me find it real quick, just so I have a. It's a video that's always going around. Herbie and. All right, so I'm just gonna play it, but also mute it. Right. This is a great video. Everyone probably knows this video. It's like Herbie and Quincy Jones in the studio. And like, look at this studio. Like I could probably, this is like what, a Moog Source. This is a Fairlight they're playing on. Who knows what this is, a mini Moog. There's so much going on in this room. I'll just keep playing the video. Oh, there's a Moog something. What is this? A Moog multi-Moog. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm a believer that there is no amount of instruments that stops you from being a person who wants to create music as your like number one thing, the thing that you want. No one would ever accuse Herbie Hancock of not making music just because he has more synthesizers than any of us will ever have, right? Because he just does it, right? My thought is, I don't ever think I've heard of Herbie Hancock saying, "Oh, I want to be a synthesizer collector." That was never his goal. He wanted to be a musician, and he's a really great musician. But it doesn't also mean that he can't enjoy this stuff. It's really all about where's the focus. And I just wanted the videos of mine to reflect more. Hey, don't get lost in this. The YouTube is literally it's literally your gateway to getting lost in terms of what you want to do and achieve with just your, you know, whatever your personal journey is. What's up, Eternian? Oh, yeah. Thanks, Richard Levy. Nor is the voice of reason and the real truth we need in the gear-obsessed niche of world of synth YouTube. Mad respect. Yeah, thank you. I definitely am trying to... I'm a person who's super interested in synthesizers and things like that. But I also love great composers and great storytellers and just the process of making music. And I feel like when I got into being a musician on YouTube, especially in the synth space, it was just like, here's a thing, go buy it. And I just felt there's more to this. I think all of us truly love synths for their history and the people who played them and the music that not came from them, but the people behind it. And I tried to find something like that. So anyway, next week is going to be a fun video about 80s history. And maybe I'll title the video Great Synth Histories. I'll put it somewhere in there. I don't know if that will destroy the algorithm, but yeah, I'm excited for next week's video. It's hard for me to get... I'm excited about every video, but this is particularly exciting because I love something that I can learn about. And so I had to learn about this event to make the video and research it. So, anywho, I guess we're out of here. Autumn should be back next week. And, you know, if Autumn, well, anyways, I didn't want to say anything, but I appreciate you guys coming out again. I really appreciate you guys. And, yeah, next week, hopefully we can do it all again with the two of us. All right, guys, see you next time. Bye.